So the next question was, when a man says, "I'm not ready, but you're the love of my life and the only one I want, but now is not the right time," and simply because he doesn't want you. When a man says, "I'm not ready, but you're the love of my life and the only one I want, but now is not the right time," and simply because he doesn't want you.
Wait, not ready for
No.
what?
Is he making an excuse? You're saying, right?
This was just something that was submitted. You can put whatever context you would like into it or talk
All right.
about it.
Real quick. Like low key, like
A 6 year relationship with no ring.
low key, like no, like I've been there, right? Like
Yes, this is what I want. A first
Low-key,
person
like-
perspective.
you're with that, like personally, that woman, you know that's the one, but I know that I'm not in the right place. I'm either broke. Someone asked a question one time I watched on another podcast saying like, can you be in a relationship if you're broke? And someone said, yeah. I'm like, no, I can't pay bills right now. I got to worry about myself right now before giving myself to anybody else. Like, there's no way, right? So I've met and been with somebody. I'm like, you're fucking perfect, straight up. But like, I can't give any of myself to you. This is not the time for that. And it's kind of sad to see them walk away because you're like, hopefully someone can give her what I couldn't. But like, goddamn, like, hopefully she's around later on. But like, it's not, to answer the question. I don't think it's always just because they don't want to, they don't want you. That's kind of funny. An excuse,
I agree.
yeah, like personally in my head, I'm just like, if I wake up in the morning, I gotta think about shit like, damn, like if my car insurance comes out, my balance is gonna be below zero. I gotta fucking like figure out how to hustle. And you're like right there trying to go, I want to go get dinner or some shit. I'm
Right.
like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
no. Like if I can, I'll never do that.
stressful,
I'm not a real
right.
person, but like that's the feeling. I'm like, I can't have that right now. I want to be able to like be good with myself. So like, well, is there tomatoes?
Was there tomatoes? I feel like even you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think energy being transparent is beautiful. So if I could be like, yo, I love you, but right now I would like to not be in a relationship, I think that is honorable. I think also if you do love someone and you would like to be with them, building together is always a beautiful thing because it's family business. But that's all.
You even like choosing that decision is responsible. I feel like that's like a responsible thing to do. And honestly, like people kind of look at it as this relationship, but it's always like a bigger picture to that. That's like one way of God's way or the universe's way of testing you. You know, you can't be in a successful relationship and not know when to say no or not know and understand responsibility and not like you it's just God's way of testing you. And I feel like once you pass those tests, even if you feel like that person is the person for you, maybe that might not be, but that's just getting you one step closer to the person that you were meant to be. So little things like that matter. It's self-respect, it's self-control, it's just taking care of yourself, which is really who comes first in a relationship, in all relationships, besides your relationship with God.
Aren't women making more money than men, like on the mass level now? Like, do you even need to be the provider anymore?
No.
I mean, how do ladies feel about
More
that?
money than men on a mass level now? Is it like, do we still want to keep these gender roles of like men need to be the provider?
It's got to be.
And don't
both.
women hate it when men kind of drop out of relationships because they feel like they can't be a provider?
Well, so provider is
Cannot be a provider.
provider is kind of low key like weird because
Why?
like
Term itself.
you're both providing in each other's equal right. Like, let's take that traditional. The man goes to work for 7 hours, for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and the wife stays home and cooks and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I know it's weird. I get it, but like, they are both kind of doing their part.
Right.
Like, she has to. What are you each bringing to the relationship? Not necessarily just money. Like, if she's working 10 hours a day too, you better be in the house doing everything else.
But isn't that why you dropped out of that relationship?
Me? No. But me is because like I know myself. I know myself. Like, I wasn't good with myself. Money, sure, but like, it was more like I like giving. That's kind of like that's how like I feel like I show affection and like love and everything. So if I can't do that, like I can't give myself to her, I can't. You know, I love going out to eat. I love doing shit. Like if we can't do that, and I can't like help give that, then it's hard for me, right? I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm alone here. Am I not? Yeah, and I think I have. I think she knew that too. And she knew it's important to me to get there. You know.
When a man says I'm not ready, but you're the love of my life and the only one I want, but now is not the right time, it's simply because he doesn't want you. He said that he was in that situation, but
It wasn't a lot.
no, he said he was in that situation, but the reason why it wasn't because he didn't want her, it was because he said he wasn't financially stable, and that fucked with his mindset. Is that what you kind of said?
Yeah. It's like financially stable thing is one thing, but it's also finding what I'm doing with my life and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with myself, right? I think I'm not gonna get it. I don't think we should get it twisted. Like, financial stability is important. Like, regardless, it's not everything, but it's a lot. Like,
But do you also believe that tolerance is important as well?
Tolerance.
Because tolerance also means love and also patience. So in West Africa, there's this word called akuma, and akuma is Ashanti is the shape of a heart, and the heart represents tolerance. I feel like when you have tolerance, it doesn't matter if you're broke, doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you are less fortunate than others. The fact that you have love and your true intention, that you really want to be with this person, but you know that you don't have the needs or the materials to do that. If she loves you, she would either help invest in you or, but yeah, that's what it is, because when you have tolerance, you're investing your time, and also you already have that that emotion where it's like, yo, I know you're going through something, but I'm here no matter what, and we gonna get through this, because I'm in a relationship, and that's the same type of like time that we're all on, because like even though she's a little bit younger than me, like 24, like I still like as a man, I have to be able to like direct her and let her know like, hey, I have all these other priorities, but I promise, like when things are getting better, I'm gonna make sure that things are gonna get, like where we want to be, you know. So I think tolerance is definitely important.
see, that makes sense. I get it, but I think that it's also the attention and focus that I'm not giving her that I have to give to myself right now.
Yeah.
Can I chime in?
Right, that's being responsible.
Can I chime in? Hi.
Please.
So, in the
Please.
topic of gender roles, to add to what you were saying about whether men can truly desire to be in a meaningful relationship unless they're financially stable or not. I know it's various from person to person, but the way I see it is, as a woman, I was raised kind of being groomed into this role that I'm ready for a relationship at any time. You were given baby dolls, we're given toys like easy bake ovens to be ready for that. We're prepared like subliminally all of our lives. Whereas you think of the toys like men get, it's like kind of professionally based toys, like whether it be toy guns or trucks or like
Right,
toy
excavators and
construction
shit.
things. So I've never really met another woman who's ever been like, I'm not in the right place in my career to be with the person I truly love. And that's because they know that pretty much as a heterosexual woman, they've been groomed to just accept it and be there and for men in their own ways. Whereas a man, if they're not, in my opinion, financially or like where they want to be or in their career, it's kind of a bigger deal because that's what they've been conditioned to think their part in the relationship to contribute. So I understand that. And if you're not able to make someone happy the way you want to be happy and give the things that you want to give to someone, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with that person, because how does that lead to anything but resentment?
Right.
Yo, and I want to piggyback on that and say, first off, great points. The idea that the way we love somebody is the way that they deserve to be loved, like it feels better for us, right? We want to be able to provide for them. We want to be able to give them what they want because that's what we were raised to think, right? I think that we got to take away that selfish idea and be like, and just communicate with them. I really thought about that a little bit while she was talking. I'm like, if you just communicate that, communication is the key to everything.
Literally.
If you just communicate that with them, they may be willing to like build with you, right?
Right.
I feel like we get prideful sometimes. Sometimes, all the time, nigga. Let's keep it a buck. We get prideful sometimes, and we think that a woman won't accept us because we're in that building phase and trying to understand ourselves and try to figure out how we're going to get to that status that we want. I'm gonna pass it over to him, but I'm gonna give it to you first. So go ahead, dude. I'm just gonna give the mic over. But
You go first. You go first. No, you go first.
Now you go. Yeah, you go. It was already over here. Yeah.
So I feel like heterosexuals go through a lot. A lot of expectations with the roles. I feel like this is my fiance, right?
Hey, fiance. Hey, fiance.
Alyssa, sorry. Yeah. But we don't have those gender roles. I feel like if I was a typical like quote unquote stud, then it would be like, oh, she's supposed to be the breadwinner, But because we're both femmes, it's like, well, who's the man in the relationship? And it's like neither of us. And we get that question often, but it's neither of us. We're broke as fuck.
No, don't say that. Say you're overcoming a cash flow problem right now.
We're building.
Yeah, you're building. That's right. We don't say that. We don't say that word. We don't say that word.
Yeah,
that word does not exist. But we get what you're saying.
We building. We got kids.
Yes.
But we're building. We're raising kids, and even that, like, who's the mom? Who's the dad? There's two moms in the house. There's no gender roles. There's love, communication, tolerance is a big thing. There's days where we don't like each other.
Right.
But we know that, and we know what to do to give each other that space and respect. And I feel like if you're not ready to be in a relationship, that's cool. And the honesty, it is honorable. As you said, it's honorable. But you have to be real with yourself. Is it because you don't want to be in a relationship with that person, or is it because you really want to work on yourself?
Very.
Didn't say why. It wasn't the right time. No.
So somebody was gonna go over here.
He was gonna go.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you good?
I heard she said.
So just to piggyback off you for a second. So just to piggyback you off real quick, my stud friends have that same problem. It's so funny. And because they're women, they're like, who the fuck said I was paying for everything? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, tell her that then. Don't be letting her think just
Right.
because you wear suits, nigga. And you gonna fucking, you know what I mean? But it's funny how they're still using the same heterosexual gender role things. That's why I was like, girl, this is a contradiction. Let her know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is what you want, this is what you want. There's plenty of lesbian relationships where they take on the role, they love it. Nope. I'm gonna let my queen do whatever. Nope. But there's so many that's not, and they're conflicted. But for me, I would say that. So I'm someone who's always been independent. Always had my own apartment, car before a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And it stayed like that. So in the dating realm, I'm someone who's humble. I'm not someone who's entertained by money and flashy things. So I have no problem dating someone, obviously, who doesn't have a car, if I did, or didn't have, a place, and I did. And I learned, at 25, because again, I'm about to be 35, I learned at 25 that it's not the wave. I almost lost a good friend because I said, no, it's okay. And he was telling me, listen, just like you said, you're everything, and I'm not ready. He would make jokes, I'm broke, girl, I'm broke as a joke, girl, I can't even take you to McDonald's, ha, 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 ha. But, I'm like, I don't care, I like you, I don't care, And I saw what we could be, But at that moment, he was trying to tell me something that I didn't listen to.
Right.
And it was true. Right. And how dare I start to cuss him out? But the fact of the matter is, I was getting overwhelmed by taking on what? manly things, like by picking your ass up or
Right.
buying you or paying for this.
Right.
And I'm also taking over domestic things because this is my house and I'm also a woman, a feminine woman. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm doing everything and you do start to feel away. Even if you said you wasn't going to feel away and this is not who I am, the fact of the matter is life will get to you.
That's right.
When I was by myself, I just had to worry about toilet paper for one, dinner for one. And if you keep buying groceries every week, you know exactly how much it takes to feed one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A man comes who eat more than one, like y'all eat like two, okay? More food start disappearing. I'm at the grocery store more frequently. That's not the way. That's not the wave. It's not the wave. And you start to realize, number one, I'm not married. We have to stop doing marriage shit in the dating world. You're not supposed to be doing cook and clean, washing his clothes and doing all this stuff before you're married anyway. So that's a lot of the problems. You really shouldn't be living together that soon because you already doing marriage things. So let's pretend that this is my place, you have your place, and we're just dating.
Right.
It starts to affect each other because it's really me. I'm dating myself, and I'm just bringing you along for the company. And I should have listened to the brother, but thank God I said, hey, we have a really good friendship, and I can see that it's making me resent you. And it shouldn't, because you told me your problem. I said it was okay, and it's starting not to be quite okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I thank God that we stopped it then so we could still be cool. And the fact of the matter is 10 years later, he's still struggling. You know what I'm saying? I would have been struggling with you, with kids, with whatever, and divorce, just so resentful. I know now to listen to brother. I've heard brothers say that, and I'm like, no, why? I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm hiring brothers around here. But I've learned to say, hey, well, we could be cool. Because now I know it does affect relationships, and if that's the case, you should work on you. You know how much time it takes when you go to school? It's hard to be in school and be in a relationship. You want to be under your boo, but you got to be typing papers and focus. So you really have to not be with anyone, and it's a little selfish to be struggling like that and then still trying to holler at people, because what you want is for them to help you, period. That's what I'm not about. Brothers saying, oh, Shy got all this shit, well, let me just go over there, because no. Not with that intention. You know what I'm saying? That someone can bring you up. So yeah, if a brother tell you he's working on himself, let him work on himself. You can't love him harder and show him. No, it doesn't work like that. Men have this innate thing that they feel more confident in life when they can do for self and they can do for you. They will never feel secure, confident. They'll be depressed if they can't do for self first. So you have to sit back and let a man, handle his business.
I completely agree. All right, guys. Next question is, why are men so insecure about dating a woman who is more financially successful than them? I was listening to this podcast the other day, and I was triggered. There were the two guys talking, and dude was like, basically, when a woman makes more money, either whenever she makes more money than him, or the more money she makes, the less valuable she is. That's just crazy. How y'all feel about that?
Maybe not the weather.
So the question was why, right? So short answer, society.
Why are men so insecure about dating a woman who's more money?
I think it's society. I think tradition, our country.
Wait. First question is, would you date a woman who's more financially successful?
Yeah. Yes. I would. I don't know I don't really get too into their funds because I really believe when it comes to relationships, it's one individual with another individual coming together. You know what I'm saying? Remembering that they're an individual first. So I don't really compare funds like that. So yes, I would. I don't know if I have. That's culture, tradition. I feel
So insecure about dating a woman.
I think that's some old antiquated type of feeling like older men that were kind of like how we were talking earlier, groomed to feel like they need to take care of self and also of others and things of that nature. Because I'm 25 and I feel like a lot of people that are my age, I don't think we would have that issue at all. I'm hey, shorty, take care of me.
Nah, I wouldn't.
That's all.
But I also wouldn't date
problem.
somebody who makes like way less than me either. Like I don't want to be sugar mama, and I don't want to like take care of like a homeless person.
I think that's
We got to be in the same. We got to be in the same tax bracket.
But I
not
think
more or
that's-
less.
I think
But
that's
why,
the
Tata?
issue.
Why?
Because I feel like I feel like when it comes to like I feel like we value money too much. We value money and finances way too much. Like spirit don't care about money. Your heart don't care about money, right? We're tapping into now we're thinking about how to use somebody in a relationship, right? Because finances really don't mean a thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry to say it. Methadone Mile got a lot of people in love with no bread in their pockets.
But you can't pay. You can't pay bills with air.
Yeah.
You can't pay love. You can't take love to Georgia Power and say I'm trying to pay my bill today.
But you see the fact that we're comparing love and then we're tying it into bills and stuff, like love is love.
No,
But in
that's
order to
young love.
have a
Love is
meaningful,
Simply put.
Hold on.
It's like when you hear people say it.
Go ahead.
My fault,
Hold
Kev.
on.
My fault, Kev.
Money
He's
is
been trying to
important
talk.
because you need to survive. You need to pay. Hold on, real quick. Money is important. You need to be able to pay your bills. You need to get by. We don't want to cop out and say, you can't survive off love only. You know what I mean? I don't think men, we're not insecure when a woman makes more money than us. It's when we're not able to provide and we're looking to them to provide for us for basics. Like, for example, I make good money. I got my own car, got my own crib. My girl make more money than me. Word. You know what I mean? All right. That's all I got to say. So.
But do you feel like if she made more money than you and she acted like she didn't need you, do you feel at that point you would
Wait,
feel?
sorry, I can't hear you.
If she made more money than you and she got to a point where she felt like she didn't need you, is that something that would make you insecure as a man?
Nah, honestly, like in those, I realize like again because I work hard and I've realized like at a certain point, yeah, you think money is this thing that determines the success of your relationship, but I realize I'm able to provide other things in a relationship that she can't get with money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. You know what I mean? Like we're good. We're like everything's cool with us. So yeah.
Whoever makes the most money gets the right to cheat.
That brings me back to
Go ahead, Tay.
Like if I was dating Oprah could cheat on me at any time.
So I agree. But I do believe that money is only important because of where we live in and how we're living. Right. America Today, society, all that. So when I think about the reason of money, I think of people think that they want money, they need money. They don't need that because money just gives you, it's just the key to freedom, honestly. Because you get the money so that you can comfort, freedom. So if somebody can provide that without the idea of money, like most people, how we talk about the wealthy, they don't even use money to do half the things that they need to do. So they're not even going off of money, but we're basing our love off of finances. And I'm like, I don't think that we should value. I do value money back because we are in a system or we are in a place where we need to. But I don't agree with it, so forth. More so, it's an idea of survival.
I see. Overall, for me, I feel like money is a manifestation of God, and I feel like people don't really, because they don't know about money or they have these, they have this mindset about money that they don't even necessarily realize that they have. Like some people have a scarcity mindset. They didn't even realize where their scarcity mindset came from. Some people attract money like this and they don't even realize where that came from. But overall, it kind of boils down to it's okay to, make same money as your boo, make less money as your boo, but it depends on, for me, what type of life do I want to have and what type of relationship do I want to have and what type of experience do I want to have. Some people cool chilling in the trailer watching old movies. I'm not. I'm trying to be somewhere in the sky on a motherfucking cottage somewhere. I'm trying to see some water, some dolphins. So I think overall it depends on you taking inventory of your life, taking inventory of yourself, and realizing what type of life that it is that you want and going for that, because we're just so stuck in our day to day and working and paying bills, and it really kind of is a cycle. And once you actually become aware of that and you start to through that awareness attract a different type of life and a different quality of life, then you can have a different type of relationship if that's what you want. But I definitely think that you got to take an assessment and figure out what type of life you want to have with you and your boo. I don't think so.
So this is what I'm gonna chime into that.
Because you got,
this is what I'm gonna chime into that, because when it comes to money situations, funding should only go towards yourself because that's your desire. Like,
what you mean funding?
So you want to be in Miami, I want to be on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to fund your Miami. So it's one of those things where, so this is how I see when it comes to relationship, right? It's like, whether you with me or without me, you have something going on for yourself. You don't need me to be around to be situated or comfortable. Money doesn't definitely buy freedom. I have to disagree with that, but it does buy comfortability. Because as we've seen day after day, people with money, they don't make it to barely 50 now. Why? They can have all the money in the world, but they're not comfortable no more. You know, they can't take the life no more because of all the stuff that comes with money that we can't see, because we've been low funds. I'm not gonna use the B word. We've been low funds our whole life. You know what I mean? So we're like, oh no, if I had a couple extra, let me get that STEMI check. You know what I mean? But like to them, it's like, okay, cool. This is more tax. So when it comes to like love and money, it's like, if you get into a relationship to do these adventurous things, for one, as long as you can fund yourself, you can always look for the person that can fund that other half. Basically, I want somebody that wants to go to Jamaica, Thailand, whatever with me. Cool, you're not gonna pay for both of y'all. So you were looking for somebody that's gonna fund that themselves because they have that same mindset. So it's all about like personality or you know, the situation of the person. So back to the question, I did come across a woman that was in a high caliber than the average. So she was part of the construction workers that actually built Encore. You know what I mean? So she got paid a lot of money, you know what I mean, on a regular basis. But it comes to the point where I know what kind of lifestyle that she looks forward to based off what she do. And I'm not the type of person to be in that lifestyle. But she always had like a feeling for me, but I always told, like we said, I'm not the type of person that's going to fulfill that desire that you think I would do. You know what I mean? Because you want to do A, B, C, and I'm not that type of person, whether you think I am or not. You know what I mean? But it would be nice if I did have that chance besides that stuff. But as how I am, I'll let that be, because I'm not going to try to like do the loophole to see if it'll work or not when I'm already set that like I'm not that type of person. You know what I mean? So not being around the bush, and I told her that. And you know, sometimes, like you said, you can tell people something, they're like, nah, like, come on, like, let's give it a shot. And it's just like, I'm not trying to waste your time.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's up with the next question?
This one was actually a meme. It says, what are people talking enough about? And then the reply was how 70 and 80-year-olds are generally regarded as unemployable due to mental decline, skill mismatch, yet they're exclusively running the country. Yo, can you put this on the
That's
projector?
crazy. Yo, that's one hell of a question.
That's a meme?
Well, like Biden's running the country. Or...
Right.
Okay. So, no, you're right. There is systems in place. And even if you look at, you know, our Senate and the Congress, like we have, you know, young people in Congress, you know, people of color, but like the majority of like the senators and congressmen are people over 70. Like the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, she's pushing 80. You know what I'm saying? The president, yeah, it is wild. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we want to be able to have, you know, people who are not only who look like us, but also are young enough to understand like the audience that actually helps, you know, push this country. You know, like the workers, you know, the students, especially black women and black men who are and Biden. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the Senate for like years. You know what I'm saying? He was the one who actually brought, along with Republicans, he brought the crime bill to play, and it was signed by Bill Clinton, who was also a Democrat. So like, if you want to blame like why people are being thrown into jail, you can, you know, look at that, because obviously they wanted to be able to get like, you know, the police and also like other organizations to be on board. So it's like all these characters, all these politicians, they're really thinking about themselves. Wait, go ahead.
You said the characters.
Yo, I think one thing that's important to understand about the people that are older in the society, they've had time to understand themselves and understand the society, and that's why I feel like they are still in a position to run society. I feel like young people nowadays, we're still trying to figure out ourselves and where we fit within the society and understand ourselves. So I feel like certain young people are in a position to be able to run society, right?
Right, yes. Definitely.
Because they've had that time, that advanced ability to be like, hey, I understand myself, because they had that time growing up as a child to understand themselves, understand their iniquities and all that. But I think people that understand themselves and then have the time to understand society should be able to hold those positions.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, that's not the case, because when it comes to whoever's in power, right? It's not one person gives you power. It's several or hundred thousands of people give you power. You know, that's why there's people who vote you into office. There's people who, you know, you have to have money to be able to like, or someone has to donate to you so you can be able to be into certain, you know, positions. So it's like, I feel like right now that's all they're really thinking about. They're not really caring about everybody else but themselves. And, you know, just to enrich their pockets, you know, and, you know, it's at this point, it's like, we feel like, you know, like why are our leaders like, why aren't they listening to like the young generation? You know, especially if they're the ones who are out there really like fighting the fight, and also like you get in everybody's faces telling them like, yo, climate change is real, racism is real, this, that, and the third.
I understand where you're coming from, bro. I really do. I think it's a very important thing to unpack too, because like I think everybody has to come with the understanding that every decision that we make is like conducive to where we are, right? Mm-hmm. No matter where you are right now, it's the decisions you make contribute whether you're gonna get to that position that you want to or not. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like a lot of it comes down to like the decisions you make on a daily basis. Sure, like certain things are not like set up for the best, but like you gotta just make the best of every situation, right? Mm-hmm. Fair.
Something interesting I'd like to add. It's not that I have much of an answer for this particular question, but if your parents are in Gen X or kind of 45, 50, 60 years old, when they were in their 20s and 30s, most people running the country were only in their 40s and 50s. And now we see, like, as we're in our youth, 20s, 30s, that the gap between the people we're represented by has grown so much. And what does it say about our generation? Is it because of us? Have we stopped having that initiative that maybe people 40 years used to have? And should we kind of jump on that train? Or is it stacked against us? And that's something I don't know if there's systems in place, like kind of blocking people our ages from obtaining these powerful positions. But back then, when our parents were younger, they were represented by people closer to their age group, and we've lost that over the 30 years. So,
That's facts. Didn't even think about that.
Well, couldn't that be due to the boom of like people that were born during that time? Like there were a massive amounts of people who were born at that time, and so like the people who not the
the total amount of people who would apply for that one position has now grown exponentially because now you have 3 different demographics worth of people, or 3 different age groups rather. Now, all right, but yeah, it's just like you have 3 different age groups of people now who are applying for the same job, whereas 2 generations ago was 1 versus, or 1 and 1/2, or you know what I mean. So now you have the talent pool is so much larger. So it's like, who do you pick? You know what I mean? And so at that point, it sort of comes down to relationships, I guess. You know. Great.
I would like to chime in on this.
Oh yeah.
A little bit earlier, 'cause we're talking about like social media and things like that, and how people have lost like that. So they don't know how to be social, right? Because everybody's always on their phone. They're checking Instagram. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're on it. So a lot of the times, like we were having the conversation, like, yeah, you might have 3 demographic of ages. Okay, so you have one demographic that is Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and that's all they do. This is all day, all day, all day. They don't even look people in the eye. Then you have the other demographic that's still kind of like, okay, I still want to meet people organically. And then you have the older generations that's just like, they don't want to be at home. They want to get out of the house. They just want to keep their bones moving, so they don't die. So basically, I think what it comes down to is like, it's social. If you still are able to walk into the room and be dynamic, if you're in an interview with someone, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's in person, if you still have a personality and you can still give eye contact and you're still engaging, I don't care what age you're grouping, they're gonna pick the most dynamic personality because they still have a personality. You know what I mean? So it does say a lot. So sometimes it's just about your social skills and how you still know how to interact. Like I was saying to him, sometimes you'll say hello to somebody, it's a 3-second time response. Why is a 3-second time response to me saying hi to you? If I say hi to you, it shouldn't be, what? If I say hi, how you doing? You should be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? This is the delay. What? Like I went into an event like maybe a week and a half ago, and I walk in, and I'm all about like looking at people, I'm engaging, and most people are just like, they're not like, hey, welcome in, come on, how you doing? My name is such and such. Everybody's just off in their corner. I don't know you. Mm-hmm. You never know who might be in that room.
That's right.
And you looking for a job, and the person that you might be the person that you could have walked up to, and they're like, yo, I remember that person. She has a dope person. He has a dope personality. What do you do? Oh, well, I'm the director of something, something, something. But since you were, I just missed a job opportunity. Like you might have missed. I don't know, but you might have missed the opportunity to network with someone that might be able to give you that job that you say you can't. But the social skills, so it's but it's real
very
shit.
real. It's very real.
Just by not knowing how to still kind of like, hey, hi, how you
interact.
doing?
Literally the base.
You know what I mean? So sometimes,
yeah, completely.
This is what I'm saying.
Hold up.
I want to say this.
Wait, hold on. Is this right?
Yo.
I just want to understand.
Okay. Can you pass him this?
That shit is so weird. People really think and read too far into connections. I don't care if the mic's on or not, but I'm just gonna keep talking because I think that people fucking think that this communication or this situation that you're in with somebody, you want to have a conversation with somebody, and always something has to come of it. No, it's just literally the ability to connect and just to maintain that. I feel like people fucking overanalyze. We're such a capitalistic society where people think that oh, this person's talking to me, they want something from me.
Right.
Yo, it does not that deep. Right. Sometimes people just want to talk to you. Right. Sometimes I used to ask my mom every time we go somewhere why she would talk to people so much. She's like, I'm just maintaining connection. Just maintaining connection with the outside world. And that's one thing that stuck with me, yo. And I keep that with me every day. I like literally talk to people and I just walk away because people always they're looking at you like, hold on. They're like, what the fuck? Yo, you didn't ask my Instagram. You're not trying to network, nigga. You don't got a song that's releasing? Yeah, I do, but I'm not about to give it to you. But it's that ability to be like, talk to somebody and not expect something from it. Like, it's like a give and return. Like, I think it's the worst it's like we have living in such a transactional society that it's like really milking everybody dry of their ability to communicate. I went to an event recently and somebody performed a song and they came up. I was like, oh, that song was great, man. And I was like, he's like, oh, it's on streaming platforms. I'm like, I didn't ask you that. I said the song was great. You're supposed to tell me about the story, about how you made the song. Tell me the depth behind it, right? Make me connect to you. Give me the reason why I should talk to you again. Why I should go check out this song because this is what it means to you, or this is what it feels. Exactly. It's like, connect with me. Don't just sell me something. And to be honest, he was a terrible salesman. Nigga, it's on platforms. Like, that's the worst sales pitch on the planet. Nigga, tell me something about it. And I feel like people are forgetting that.
So I definitely want to chime in on what you're saying. I feel like we put ourselves in that position where we're just like the previous generation, where we don't understand the next generation. So we gotta understand certain things that the new generation were born into, it popped into our lives. Same thing with our previous generation when they had to use the new touchscreen phone. We had to retrace the wheels, and some of them got hit quick because why? It's either you don't care. It's either you don't care or you care. And what I mean by that is that the people that care try so hard to be hip. The people that don't care is just like, oh, what is this nonsense? Like, you know what I mean? So when we start talking about like the new generation, like my brother, I literally watch him grow sitting up on the couch on an iPad watching YouTube and everything. I couldn't understand it. I'm like my brother used to watch, like, this is before Twitch was big. My brother used to watch gameplays. I'm like, bro, if you want the game, I'll buy it for you. He's like, nah, I'd rather watch it. And I'm just like, damn, for real, I used to really want the game, but
yeah, I want to be able to control it.
Understand, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I just couldn't understand it, but it was one of those things I had to understand is that if we think about the last 10 years, technology grew like crazily high. You know what I mean? We're at the point, we're at neuroscience where you can download your conscience for a couple of $1,000s now with Elon Musk. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's one of those things where like we're subconsciously not thinking about what's changing around us because we're so used to, we're still in the moment of us trying to change. You know what I mean? We're still trying to figure ourselves out. But as long as you're trying to figure yourself out, the world's changing around. It doesn't wait for nobody. So once we stop trying to figure ourselves out and look at society around us, we're understanding like what the hell's going on? Like, why is people doing the floss? Like, we used to do this and move back and move. You know what I mean? It's just one of the things. Like, if there's one thing I learned in high school, and literally one thing, history repeats itself. Whether you are aware of it or not, it's gonna happen. I hear it every time when people are like, oh, we used to do that. Oh, yeah, just put a little spice to it. That's all it is. Look at the movies. They remake. They just keep making them. Why? Because nostalgia sells. Because we're so stuck on to how things used to be instead of moving forward. That's why we're still stuck in the society that's still going through the same thing with the whole modern technology and people we are. You know what I mean? So it's not like we're speaking on these things now, and it's not like we're not aware of the situations, but it's like all we can do is speak on it until, as a whole, people act actually on the situation for it to actually be a change. You know what I mean? So that's what I want to say on, at least on that topic.
I feel like I went in so many different directions, but I just wanted to share how, like with technology and like being on my phone, I realized that I was having anxiety, like getting messages and like always checking it whenever it like binged. And I thought about that experiment with the dog and how like it heard the bell and it would run to go get the food. And I'm like, dang, like this is happening over here for me. It's crazy. I had to take some time away from my phone and realize like, wow, I now need to connect with like life and be in the moment more. And then I felt like while I'm being in the moment and being around whatever is in my moment, whatever person is, and like really experiencing them, I began to realize that there's more oneness involved in that situation. And like I used to think of us as separate, and I felt like technology also created that separateness, like seeing different people's social media and things of that nature. But then like even us as individuals, there's still this area where I realize, oh, we all come from this one thing, this energetic experience, and then we're individualized to experience ourselves in this manner. But because we feel like we're individuals, we have to like keep up with that rather than just connecting and being one and feeling each other and relating with each other and embracing each other and like loving on each other in that way. Even if it's like, yo, I don't really like rock with what you're doing, I can at least accept what you're doing and like be on my way, you know, but like accept that shadow side of myself, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you bringing up the technology, and the connections, because I do think that it's all about oneness, and technology, you know, is a gift because we can all still stay connected in that frame of mind. Like I don't get to see everybody face to face every day, but it's all love when I get to appreciate people because of it. I think what happens is when it starts to consume us, you know, and like that's where it's like, okay, this is now being a little addicting. Like I gotta face myself. Absolutely.
And that's important. I feel like you need the mic, senor. It's a podcast. He's grabbing the mic.
I just want to add on what you were saying because what you just said about technology and people being so connected to it. It's the fact that we can get so much information less than a second. Like somebody with a phone in one day can get more information than somebody without a phone in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like you can literally get the information at the tip of your fingers. And I think that's what really it shows that addiction. Cause like you said, when you stop trying to use your phone, for some reason you just want to check a notification or just see what you might get a chime. It'd be like some app that just letting you know something. Like, oh, that was a message. And because it sends that endorphins in your brain where it's just like you feel like you can be tired. You get a message like, oh, okay, now I'm up. What's that? You know, it could be nothing.
Silence them. It's better for your health, bro.
Exactly.
Silence them, everything. So it's better for your health. If it ain't a call and an emergency.
And I just want to share because I appreciate you sharing like the information component of it. Also, like thinking about how we can receive downloads spiritually by connecting with nature more, you know? So it's like, okay, now instead of me getting this outside experience of being fed information, let me just sit with myself and like clear my thoughts and like receive also from this oneness that can come through. But because we're so like consumed with other ways of receiving, we're not really spending a lot of time with ourselves to just feel what's coming from within, you know? And I think and like, I appreciate the information. I appreciate that I can also like just go on like the site and Google some shit real quick. It's also wonderful when I can like sit with myself and get that like aha moment, you know?
And before I pass this back to my man's over here, I just want to add another your back. The whole disconnect. Yeah, no, it was just I was just chiming on some. I kept forgetting it, to be honest. The whole disconnect. See, you made me forget it real quick again. It'll come back to me.
I apologize.
It's recording.
So I appreciate the fact you said downloads because when I went to Ghana, I was receiving messages.
Right here.
Just keep it there. It's recording. Oh, it's my fault. Sorry.
You good?
All right,
Go ahead, Ghana.
Yeah. So now, when I went to Ghana, I was receiving messages like this, and I came back to America like I knew what was needed to be done. I knew who I was. I just knew everything. And I was thinking about why I was able to accept all those downloads over in Ghana, how things were just coming straight to me. And there was no service. I had my phone.
Your channels were clear.
Everything was clear, right?
Nothing was backed up.
And like even when I came back, like that was the end of that long relationship that I was in, because I just had a new understanding of who I was, of what a relationship should be. Like, it was just so much made sense, and so much didn't make sense over here. And my cousin told me, she was like, those are downloads, right? I was like, downloads? I call them messages from the universe. She's like, well,
same thing, baby.
So that was it. I don't know. I flicked this thing. I don't know if it turns it off or on, but I'm gonna give it back.
I just remember real quick what I was thinking about. I know I don't want to upset my man's over here, but we was talking about you were talking about the disconnect. I believe you or her, but you were talking about the disconnect, like in like real life now, where people is always on their phones or whatnot. And I feel like what affects that now is being able to connect with people instantly. Remember before you had to pay for a calling card, so you had time. Like, I'm about to call you in like 2 weeks if you're long distance, and then we had Kik and all these apps that let you talk to people across the world for free, and you know what I mean. And then we got FaceTime, where it's just like, I don't need to see you no more. As long as I can just FaceTime and tell you whatever, I'm cool. And then by the time I see you physically, we already had the conversation. There's nothing to say to you. You know what I mean? Like, unless something that happened like 2 days ago, we didn't talk. But it's one of those things where it's like, that's why I personally don't like to FaceTime. Like, it has to be a crew situation if you want to FaceTime. Why? Because I'm an in-people person. So like, I like to have conversation heart to heart. Like, it's easy. It's just like text messages. It's hard to believe text messages because you can't tell if the person lying to you. Yeah. You can't feel and see their emotion. So I can put LOL smiley face and be dead ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do it too, but I put LOL smiley because it makes the conversation feel I'm not being a dick. Or I'm not mad, or I'm not laughing, but I'm putting LOL, I'm putting emojis because I have to make it look like it's not serious. You know what I mean? I have to make it like, oh, he's not mad, he's not being a dick. You know what I mean? But I'd be being dead ass, you know? So that's where the disconnect comes when the technology how it is now, because it's like it's easy. We don't have to send texts anymore. I can FaceTime and break up with you now and hang up. Right on your face, boop, gone. You know what I mean? I don't have to wait for your text. I don't have to worry about your text. I can hang up when you block you now. Like it's like, so we have that fast access that ruins that in people person conversation and intellect. That's all I want to. I just remember that.
Yeah, go ahead and say what you're gonna say, and then we're gonna take a break.
Okay. Basically, so damn. I think technology. I feel like technology basically is it stems from like greediness, like time, trying to be fast, trying to move fast.
Yes, I completely agree.
Yeah, instant, and it's like it's unhealthy in a way, and it has everybody. It has everybody moving on like this type of time, and nothing's really processed. Nothing's really nothing's really fully pure because it's so like, oh, I can just do that real quick. And there's no real feeling in that I love you, because it was just, I love you. It was just, versus like, no, for real. Like, that's why eye contact is really important, because it's like, oh, snap. That goes back to feeling real feelings. I don't know how to wrap it all up.
No, you good.
That's pretty much
that. And that makes perfect sense. It's third dimensional. We haven't reached the fourth dimension to where we are deserving of that instant gratification, because when we reach the next dimension, like things will happen just like that. You'll think about something, it'll manifest right away, but we haven't reached that point. Something I want to say before we go on our break: next time you guys want to Google a question, don't Google the question. Ask yourself the question and think about the question. Give it a day, give it a day or two, and then feel if you get that download from the universe, and then go in and ask and Google the question to see if the answer that you downloaded from the universe matches the question. Next time you have because I was doing this myself, like, damn, like I wanted to Google something. I'm like, girl, no, ask yourself first. So I asked myself the question. The question came to me, and then I Googled it just to make sure that it was right or not. So just an exercise you can do to practice that with yourself, to practice your relationship with God, is ask yourself the question and then give yourself time to receive the answer, and then Google the question in maybe a day or two and see if that question that you got resonated with the question that actually comes up on Google. And that's just a way to practice your relationship with God and building and maintaining trust within yourself, because we rely on technology way too much when the answer is really we're born with everything we got. It just needs to be developed.
And I love that you said that too, because that's something that I believe in. I tell people, a lot of people, is that everything happened because we already know the knowledge.
Right.
It's already within. It's not like a message coming from a pelican. We're
Right.
like, all right, this is the next thing we're
within you.
doing today. It's like we
set.
already have the knowledge through evolution. And that's something I wanted
Right.
to say earlier is that there's this line between evolution and the religious belief is the reason why the system is the way it is now. And we say the system is, it's the old system, but we gotta remember our system was built off religious belief when it was conquering. You know what I mean? So now we're at this point where the religious belief ain't the same as how it was, 100 years ago. Now a lot of people live in a certain life where they believe in the Jesus or another type of God, and it's kind of more acceptable day after day. Let's not think about, they forget, 15 years ago, we was just in a war for religious belief,
Right.
And it was a big thing. And now we're at a point in society where it's just like, it doesn't matter anymore. Well, to the extent, but more better than we did 10 years ago. So it's one of those things where, we already have the knowledge. If you even think about all the religions, they always have something in common. There's a higher power. There's a higher connection. And there's a higher vibration. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's all different books of the same story. Well, Scientology. Listen.
All right.
Listen.
We're gonna take a 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Okay. Smoke break. Pee. Smoke pee. Period. So 15 minutes, and we'll be back. Yeah, but